Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by a regular on this podcast, Thad Moffitt, the driver of the number 46 Ford for DGR. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Casey, how are you?
I'm doing well. So you're back this weekend at Michigan, but there's talk about that race, and I know that we'll get into the other stuff. Just talk about Michigan for right now, going into that.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to get back to Michigan. I think we've made a lot of gains on our intermediate track stuff this year. Like at Charlotte, we had a lot of speed. At Kansas, we had relatively good speed. We've just fought loose at all of these intermediate tracks. Obviously, Pocono, we ran fifth. Pretty solid day for one of my worst tracks, I would say. So we'll take a top five there for sure and move on. But I'm really excited to get there. You know, we struggled there last year. We fought tight the entire time. I think we ran like 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 7th, 8th, and 9th, all the DGR cars. But I've been really happy with our progress on the intermediate track stuff. And we've had a long break since Charlotte, so everybody's got to work on their stuff a little bit. But we'll see with the intermediate track stuff how competitive we are with the 18 and the Venturini cars and stuff like that.
Okay, so I know that there's two ARCA races this weekend, but you were kind of talking about it. Unless something else happens, you're not going to be at Springfield on Sunday. Kind of give us an update on what that situation is in terms of what the rest of the season looks like for you.
Yeah, so it's just becoming increasingly difficult for us to be able to run for a championship. You know, we're still short about 4 or 5 races. I think you said 4, right? The 2 dirt races, Salem and Milwaukee, on getting the season sold. And if nothing changes, then we'll just have to forego those races and just run what we can, what's left in the season, which would be Michigan, Bristol, and Kansas at the end of the year. But it's just become increasingly difficult, like everyone knows, with the sponsorship stuff. And then we just don't have the funds, the means to be able to run some of those tracks. So,
yeah. I mean, I know there's also, you know, Nick Sanchez told me yesterday that he's not doing the 2 dirt races as well. But what kind of thing that I know you want to run every race, and I know that it's important for you guys, and it's also important for owners' points as well. People don't even know this, but there's a drivers' championship. There's also an owners' championship as well. So kind of go through that, and because there's a lot of people that don't really know about that.
Yeah, so the 46 itself, the number can gain points, whether I drive it or anybody else, David or Taylor or any of those guys drive it, kind of like the 15 does at Venturini, the way they changed between Drew and Jesse Love and Parker Chase has drove it this year. So they've had different drivers in the 15 pretty often, same way with the 25.
Yeah.
So they're both running for the owners championship as well, as the 46. So it will continue on Sunday running with Taylor. And so we can keep it up there in points just in case something does come through. I'll be able to run, hopefully, the remainder of the season if we can pull something out in these next couple of weeks.
I know this is like the only thing that you want to do, and this has been in your family, obviously, everybody knows that. But what does the future hold for you in terms of, as we're also kind of getting to know, like, the question of what are you doing next year is that question's probably coming up as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, most of what we have planned is just funding dependent. You know, you got to go out and sell sponsorship, and then hope some of it comes through, and then we kind of make our plans from there. You know, we'd love to do some upper series stuff, some Xfinity stuff, some truck stuff. That's kind of the direction we're hoping to go. But I think it just all depends on how much funding we can secure going into 22, and we'll kind of just take it one step at a time from there. You know, hopefully here in these next couple months, we can get some plans ironed out and see what we can come up with for the next season, for the next year. And hopefully it holds some Xfinity stuff and a few truck races and stuff, and possibly some ARCA companion races, like 2 races in one weekend, similar to the kind of stuff that Ty's doing this year and Sam just recently started doing. Um, so
Yeah. Um, so, oh, there we go.
yeah,
So kind of going into that, I know that sponsorship has you got to look at, I know it's still tough and all that, but over time, as long as I've known you, you've increased every year in the amount of races that you've ran. I mean, you're running more races this year than you did last year. I know that, with Clean Packs and Clean Harbors, and Dirties was on the car at Mid Ohio. But what's it like to have those guys coming to help you out as well?
yeah, it's great. It's great. My partners are great. Having them in the sport. With Clean Harbors has been in the sport forever, but with Clean Packs and Dirties, it was both of their first times being in the sport, and it was with me. And hopefully that relationship just continues and continues to grow. Um, we we're still just a little bit short of what we need to make the season, but those guys did do a lot to help me get as far as I have this year, and I really appreciate everything that the guys at Clean Packs and Dirties, um, Transportation Impact, Safety Clean, Clean Harbors, all those guys did for us. Without them, we wouldn't have got to race at all. So it's great to have those relationships and keep building them day to day, and hopefully we can just continue to grow together. And they're getting the best out of their partnership, and then we just keep performing on the track for them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I know that you've had some really, really good results this year in ARCA as well, but kind of go through this weekend. I know that you would love um, to get into victory lane, to get Ford into victory lane as well, uh,
Yeah.
at at the home of the automobile as well. Of course, it's in Ford's backyard, it's Chevy's backyard, and I know some stuff at Toyota is made here as well. But this is a big weekend, not just for ARCA, and this is kind of a home race for ARCA as well. They're just down the road in Toledo, but this is a big race for the manufacturers as well as the series itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Michigan usually is a test of the manufacturers through all the series.
Yeah,
With ARCA, we have the Ilmore, so it's pretty level playing field. There's a lot else you can do in other places to help the cars with performance, but I feel like it's a big race for Ford. It's a big race for pretty much anyone that goes there. It's an awesome facility. It's a great racetrack. It's huge. You can't see from one end to the other. But it is a really neat place, a really, really cool place to race at. So going into this weekend, we're just trying to keep the momentum going that we have. We had a pretty rough weekend at Watkins Glen, going off early and then never getting a full course caution to catch back up. Had to make an unscheduled stop, lost a lap. So just nothing really went right from the start there at Watkins Glen. I thought it was great for us to rebound and come back to 11th after all the trouble that we had early in the race. I think it was like lap 3 when we went off, or 2 or something. So for that, I feel like coming back to 11th on the lead lap was a pretty decent result for us. And then we had fourth place run at Winchester, and this last stretch of 5 races has been kind of difficult for us with Berlin, with breaking the steering box, and then Elko, we got spun on the last lap, and Iowa was all right. We ran 6th. I wish we would have had a little better result there. And then at Winchester, we had a pretty good run, and then not very good at Watkins Glen. Not what we were hoping for going into the weekend. It was a pretty stacked field. We had a lot of guys racing with us that don't usually race with us. and we were hoping to showcase a little better, but I guess we'll take that and go on. So just try and keep building on our momentum and get back to where we're running in the top 5 every week, like we were earlier in the season. Being in the top 5 and racing with those guys gives us a better shot at the win. If something does happen, I feel like we're going to be pretty competitive this weekend, though. I mean, we showed a lot of speed at Charlotte. We showed a lot of speed at Kansas that we can run in that top 3 group. So I think the 18's the car to beat going into it. So we'll see how it goes.
18 and the 20 are 2 cars to watch, of course. It's gonna be a fun show for sure. All right, Thad Moffitt, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck this weekend at Michigan, and hang in there, buddy. It'll all work out someday.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.